Dear learners, let's try to understand the classical conditioning theory by Ivan Petrovich Pavlov. Let us explore the theory. Classical conditioning, also known as Pavlovian conditioning, is a psychological theory proposed by Russian physiologist Ivan Pavlov in the late 19th century. It is a form of associative learning that explains how behaviors are learned through the association of stimuli in the environment. Pavlov's groundbreaking research on the digestive system of dogs inadvertently led him to discover the principles of classical conditioning, revolutionizing our understanding of human and animal behavior. Key concepts of classical conditioning: 1. Unconditioned stimulus. UCS. This is a stimulus that naturally triggers a response without any prior learning. In Pavlov's experiments, food served as an unconditioned stimulus because it naturally elicited salivation in dogs. 2. Unconditioned response. UCR. This is the automatic, reflexive response to the unconditioned stimulus. In Pavlov's experiments, the dog's salivation in response to the presentation of food served as the unconditioned response. 3. Conditioned stimulus. CAs. This is a previously neutral stimulus that, after being paired with the unconditioned stimulus, comes to elicit a conditioned response. In Pavlov's experiments, the sound of a bell served as a conditioned stimulus because it initially did not elicit salivation but became associated with food and eventually elicited salivation on its own. 4. Conditioned response. CR. This is the learned response elicited by the conditioned stimulus. It is similar to the unconditioned response but is now triggered by the conditioned stimulus alone. In Pavlov's experiment, the conditioned response was the dog's salivation in response to the bell ringing, even when food was not present. Let us understand Pavlov's experiment on dog. Classical conditioning is classical in that it is the first systematic study of the basic laws of learning, also known as conditioning. Pavlov's most famous experiment involved a dog, a bell, and food. He observed that when the dog was presented with food, it would salivate. He then introduced a bell into the experiment, ringing it just before giving the dog food. Over time, the dog learned to associate the sound of the bell with the arrival of food and would salivate at the sound of the bell alone. This process of learning is known as classical conditioning. In classical conditioning, a neutral stimulus, the bell, is repeatedly paired with a natural response, salivating to food, until the neutral stimulus alone, the bell, produces the same response, salivating, as the natural response, food. Process of classical conditioning. 1. Acquisition. During the acquisition phase, the conditioned stimulus, CAs, is repeatedly paired with the unconditioned stimulus, UCS. As a result of this pairing, the neutral stimulus becomes associated with the UCS, leading to the gradual acquisition of the conditioned response, CR. 2. Extinction. Extinction occurs when the conditioned stimulus, CAs, is presented repeatedly without being followed by the unconditioned stimulus, UCS. Over time, the association between the CAs and the UCS weakens, leading to a decrease or extinction of the conditioned response, CR. 3. Spontaneous recovery. Spontaneous recovery refers to the reappearance of the conditioned response, CR, after a period of rest or time has elapsed since extinction. While the conditioned response may initially diminish during extinction, it can spontaneously recover when the conditioned stimulus, CAs, is presented again. 4. Generalization. Generalization occurs when a conditioned response, CR, is elicited by stimuli that are similar to the conditioned stimulus, CAs. For example, if a dog has been conditioned to salivate in response to the sound of a bell, it may also salivate in response to similar sounds or stimuli. 5. Discrimination. Discrimination involves the ability to differentiate between similar stimuli and respond selectively to specific stimuli. Through discrimination training, individuals or animals learn to respond only to the specific conditioned stimulus, CAs, that has been paired with the unconditioned stimulus, UCS, while ignoring other similar stimuli. Educational implications of classical conditioning theory. The principles of classical conditioning have several educational implications that can be applied to enhance teaching and learning in educational settings. Classroom management. Understanding classical conditioning can help educators effectively manage classroom behavior. By associating positive stimuli, such as praise or rewards, with desired behaviors, teachers can reinforce and strengthen those behaviors over time. For example, praising students for participating in class discussions can encourage continued active engagement. 2. Creating positive learning environment. Educators can use classical conditioning principles to create a positive and supportive learning environment. By pairing learning activities with enjoyable or stimulating experiences, teachers can enhance students' motivation and engagement. For instance, incorporating interactive and hands-on activities into lessons can make learning more enjoyable and memorable for students. 3. Addressing learning difficulties. Classical conditioning techniques can be used to address learning difficulties and challenges. By breaking down complex tasks into smaller, more manageable steps and providing positive reinforcement for progress, educators can help students overcome obstacles and build confidence in their abilities. For example, using a token economy system where students earn tokens or points for completing tasks or demonstrating positive behaviors can motivate students with learning difficulties to stay focused and engaged. 4. Promoting social and emotional learning. Educators can use classical conditioning to promote social and emotional learning, skills such as empathy, self-regulation, and interpersonal communication. By associating positive social interactions with desirable behaviors, teachers can reinforce prosocial behaviors and help students develop important social and emotional competencies. For instance, praising students for demonstrating empathy and kindness towards their peers can encourage the development of positive social behaviors. 5. Reducing anxiety and stress. Classical conditioning techniques can be used to help students manage anxiety and stress in academic settings. By pairing relaxation techniques, such as deep breathing exercises or mindfulness activities, with stressful situations, educators can help students associate a sense of calm and relaxation with challenging academic tasks. For example, incorporating brief relaxation exercises before exams or presentations can help students feel more relaxed and confident. 6. Facilitating memory and recall. Classical conditioning principles can be used to enhance memory and recall of academic content. By pairing learning materials with sensory cues or mnemonic devices, educators can help students associate information with specific cues or contexts, making it easier to retrieve later. For example, using visual cues or graphic organizers to represent key concepts can help students organize and retain information more effectively. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.